And not all those who entertained us were singers and comedians. There was even a philosopher who caught a nation by the ears, Professor Joad.
Well, of course, it depends what you mean by knowledge, but generally, if you take knowledge to mean education, cultivation of your faculties, and an enriching of your mind, it's not essential to happiness. I should have thought it was a very great assistance, an aid to happiness.
And in his turn, Joad was a disciple of another favourite of the public, George Bernard Shaw. It took much persuasion before Shaw would pose for these pictures for Pathe, but in the end he enjoyed showing his garden and the rotating hut where he typed his manuscripts.
I simply say that I can't say that I'm very glad to see you because I can't see you. But I feel instinctively that you're extremely glad to see me. They're always glad to see me in America. So now, take a good look at me because I am the actual, real, original Bernard Shaw. And, now, how do you like that? Very good.
And now some early memories of stars who are still with us. The first great sister act was the girls from Glasgow, Renee and Billie Houston. A new star in the early days of the play that made his reputation. Charles Laughton making up for the gangster part in Edgar Wallace's On the Spot. And a great star some of us saw when we were too young to remember anyone else, the prince of pantomime principal boys, Miss Clarice Mayne. Who can guess what memories tonight has brought back for Clarice Mayne? No longer in the theatre, she remains part of it, for she's married to Teddy Knox of the Crazy Gang. Today, there's a new kind of stardom through the fashion salons and the pages of the glossy magazines. The professional models, the elegant beauties of headlines and A-lines. This pretty girl now, you've seen her in every magazine you've ever read. But when we discovered her, Pat Squires was a driver in the WAF. We wanted to give a glimpse of how members of the services were looked after in wartime at the Nuffield Centre. And we chose Pat as a real-life WAF. The romance we produced for Pat was a synthetic one, but she found a romance of her own because these pictures brought her jobs as a model, and soon she reached the heights of her profession. Sylvia Shelley, another famous model who has often appeared in Pathe pictorial. Fashion has always been one of its highlights. Turn back the years for a glimpse of high fashion in the 20s and 30s.
she couldn't look cuter, wearing her birthday suitor, so her bathing suit never got wet. No, it never, 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 never got wet. Not yet.
Yesterday's fashions are always funny to the teenagers of today, and I wonder how the modern elegance of Miss Janet Scott will look when this young lady is a grandmama.